Quickly before starting the video, I would like to say thank you to all of you who support me on various platforms, and those of you who like my work, please consider contributing as well. It helps me and my family a lot. Once again, huge thanks, and let's begin. Hey, hope you're well despite the crazy things happening in this world. This video is somewhat of a compilation of clips that were stored in my folder, just interesting things which I've noticed, and they've been sitting for a while now, not being used. Might seem just random stuff, but everything should tie at the end. At least I hope it will make some sense. And while watching them, while making this video, I'll share a thought here and there.
We're straight through here, straight on through. This will no doubt be a little lurking. Look.
While watching a documentary about making of The Shining, I saw something bizarre, and I want you to pay close attention to how Jack Nicholson gets into his character. This is a prime example of someone being possessed on the set, summoning spirits, demons, and listen to the sounds that he makes. This is not cut or edited by me. This was taken straight from the documentary.
Let me explain it to you. Okay. Come on, you. Oh, come on, Dad. Come on! Well, when's the shutting? Shutting. Die. Ex-murder kill. Alright, you just say turn over when you're ready, Sammy.
Let's listen to it one more time.
Ready, Ronnie? Yeah. Right, let's go. Come on, you. Oh, come on, Dad. Come on! Ryan, are you ready? Well, when's the shutting? Die. Ex-murder kill. Alright, you just say turn over when you're ready, Sammy.
It might be better to just play it as a medium shot with the situation. The other thing, maybe.
Let's take that. Can you do it with your head down? Yeah. Well, that's not bad. Let's do that. Try that, Jack.
Wendy, listen to me. Let me out of here and I'll forget the whole damn thing. It'll be like it never happened.
You couldn't find some way of sort of not looking at her and looking down as you say the line.
Wendy, listen. Let me out of here and I'll forget the whole goddamn thing. It'll be just like nothing ever happened.
Wendy, baby, I think you hurt my head real bad. I'm dizzy. I need a doctor. Honey, don't leave me in here. Wendy?
I'm gonna go now.
Wendy?
Yes.
You've got a big surprise coming to you.
You're not going anywhere. Go check out the snowcat in the radio and you'll see what I mean. Go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out.
Very good, Jack. Excellent. Right, check the gate, Doug.
And just like that, he switched off.
Ever thought about my responsibilities?
Oh, Dick, what are you talking about?
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers? Has it ever occurred to you that I have agreed to look after the Overlook Hotel until May the 1st?
Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Stay away from me.
Wendy.
Stay away.
Darling. Wendy.
Stay away.
Darling. Light of my life.
I have a real problem with The Shining, and Stanley Kubrick knew that I had a problem with The Shining. I had a discussion with him beforehand. He said, "Stephen, Stanley Kubrick here. Don't you agree that all stories of ghosts are fundamentally optimistic?" I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, if there are ghosts, it means we survive death, and that's fundamentally an optimistic view, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, Mr. Kubrick, what about hell?" And there was a long pause on the telephone line, and then he said in a very stiff and very different voice, "I don't believe in hell." And I thought to myself, well, that's fine, but some of us do, and some of us believe that ghosts may survive, and that may be hell.
I think you are well aware what hell is, Mr. King. Who's inspiring you to write those stories?
And that was sort of where I was coming from with The Shining. But in the novel, The Shining, Jack Torrance is a difficult character, but he's fundamentally a sympathetic character. And I always visualized him as a piece of metal that's bent first one way and the other by these malignant spirits who basically want his son because his son is a psychically powerful person. So I saw these all as warm characters, characters that were being threatened by forces from without, from ghosts, from real supernatural creatures. And the film is extremely cold. Stanley Kubrick saw The Haunting as coming from Jack Torrance, from the Jack Nicholson character, whereas I always saw it from outside. So we had a fundamental difference of opinion about it. I always thought that the real difference between my take on it and Stanley Kubrick's take on it was this. In my novel, the hotel burns. In Kubrick's movie, the hotel freezes.
Have you, Stephen King, experienced that heaviness?
Yeah. The worst case, I wrote a book called The Stand.
It's very salient,
and,
yes.
Yeah, it was about a mutating flu virus, and any similarities to what's going on now are just too close for comfort. But
How interesting.
Where did this humour come from? Somebody must have described your performance as being Tourettic.
Yeah, voluntary Tourette's, which is
Voluntary
different.
Tourette's.
No, like it is a bit like that. I mean, there is that thing where I'll cross over the line sometimes. Obviously, today I did, but sometimes you'll see a moment, you go, oh, and you'll just pursue it, and it's like a little bit like possession. And it happens once in a while.
But where's the moment just comes, there's nothing pre-planned or anything?
No, I mean, like today, there's a couple of...
Sequential.
Yeah, sequential, or it's actually more like a fractal.
Believe that comedy can heal you. Praise the power.
Praise the Jesus.
And Sears had a sale, this furniture went cheap. Oh my God. I'm okay now, I'm out here.
They got a hair thing, don't they? I mean, most of those evangelists are very
very
conscious
much.
of how the hair looks, and they got great suits and great ties and
wonderful
big
stuff.
carnations.
Big dead roses right here. I could not save this flower, but I will save you. Believe, no.
Say baby, baby.
baby.
Yeah, oh, you know who we're talking
Come
about.
on home, take anything you need.
Whoa! Believe!
Hello, bless you. Bless you. Give me your hand, don't be afraid. Men can touch men. And there's a voice, and it's a little quiet voice that goes, jump. It's the same voice. The same voice that goes, just one. There's a voice that goes, jump. And the idea of just one. And for someone who has no tolerance for it, that's not a possibility.
To talk about it as caused by something that...
Not caused by anything, it's just there. It's just, it's latent, waits. It lays in wait, and for the time when you think, it's fine now, I'm okay. And then beep, and then the next thing you know, it's not okay. It's not going so well.
Was there something somebody said to you, one sentence that got through, that sailed through?
No, it's like, it got through to me saying, you need help, and that's the best sentence that got through.
Family, friends, everybody.
Many people. It was, it was pretty much unanimous on that level. And then you go and you say, that's it, yeah, you're right.
How long before you decided this is it?
I don't know. It was a couple of years of just thinking I can do it on my own, and you can't. That's the bottom line. I can do this, I can stop. And you really think you can, and then you realize, I need help. And that's the operative word.
I finished that album, thank the Lords above, because I was about to jump off a building to finish that fucking album. Oh my God. Exhausting. Thank God I finished that shit. I can't, honestly, sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I'm like me and Phineas have had conversations where we're like, can you believe we actually finished the album? I swear to God, we thought we would never finish that shit. Biggest rumor though now, that I sold my soul to Satan.
Oh, look at all of us. What a bunch of lucky buggers we are, right? To make a life out of doing something that we love, right? That's extraordinary. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that for so many years. Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role. I've got to look at this table and say thanks to everybody here. Megan, oh my God, thank you so much. We've made a couple of really brilliant, fine movies. Thank you for being such a film lover.
It's gone, dude. It was gone. And then we just said, okay, let's just give up on that. Let's write a tribute to the greatest song.
Okay, a tribute. So,
that became our number one hit.
The tribute song was about saving souls from demons or something.
Yeah.
As I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Now, what was?
Well, there's a rich history of the devil in rock and roll. It goes all the way back to like Elvis was everyone said he's playing the devil's music. What was that great song, The Devil Went Down to Joe?
Oh, Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels, he had some devil in there, and it goes even back to, before that, who's Robert Johnson?
Right.
You can find his roots, way back to the beginning of rock, and so, had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on a jam session? How did these two guys get on that?
And people laugh and clap. One more time.
We sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the jam session? How did these two guys get on that show? Think about it.
And I thought, this is it. I kick ass in a major motion picture. Now the career is going to take off, but then nothing happened and I couldn't get any work for like 10 years. Now there's probably some credits in there, but you'll see that it was all like small parts and bits and chunks for a long time.
Jumanji.
I knew it was gonna be good because I read the script and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart were already attached, and I was like, these characters are jumping off the page. And my role, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the most popular girl in high school. For some reason, I know how to play that. And then it was such a hit. It was way bigger than I even anticipated. And now, I think we're gonna make part 2. I think you have to. I think you have to. They kill you if you try to walk away, and they clone you.
Don't worry, he won't get far on.
I think you have to. I think you have to. They kill you if you try to walk away, and they clone you.
Make even more noise for my band. right, you have to help me with your fans because they were a little worried about you. They saw this video of your eye twitching. Are you okay?
You mean this one? Yeah, my party trick.
I can do that too. Look.
See, look at us.
Hello.
Look at us.
Hello.
Oh my God,
I mean,
it's
this
two
is
of us
talent.
now. This is talent. You know what this is from? This is from like 13 years in the hair and makeup chair, where I'm watching makeup artists do my makeup, and I'm like, okay, you gonna get that part in the brow? Are you gonna get that crease? Let's see.
It did not look like she was controlling her so-called party trick on stage.
Make even more noise for my band.
You were so cool. Look at this guy.
I
love
was
that one.
actually so comfortable in that costume, can you tell? It's like having all the airline pillows just like right there.
We actually have we have video of you getting photographed by Merton Marcus. Wait, what? Watch Katie. Watch Katie. Watch what she says. What? What? Help me! Oh my God! I love you, man. That is exactly. But you still rock it.
I read in the newspaper, not that you can believe everything, you said living with Russell is like living in a sitcom.
I think he said that. We kind of liken it to the I Love Lucy program.
Wonderful, yeah. Lucy
I'm
and
Lucy,
Desi.
and
Yeah.
he's Lucy as well. There's a lot of Lucy going on, just a lot of.
Because your parents were quite strict, they were Christian ministers.
They still are, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They still are.
And how do they feel now about all your success?
They are very happy for me and support me. Of course, like, I'm not naive. I know that they have different views and I have my views, but I think that's been the dynamic with, like, parents and their children a lot of times is, like, you know, the kids are a different generation and think some other things and the parents still think this thing. So, but we agree to disagree and we get along swell.
Because you weren't allowed to say lucky when you were
How do you know that?
Oh,
he
psychic.
does his research.
I sit up all night.
I was only allowed to say that I was blessed, which is good because I say that to this day that I'm blessed.
But why not lucky? What's wrong with lucky?
Well, I don't know. I think my mom probably said it sounded like Lucifer. Is that crazy? I wasn't allowed to eat deviled eggs. Hello, that's crazy.
Really?
No, unless they were angel eggs.
Even your parents changed, because didn't your mum go on a date with like Jimi Hendrix and were they kind of rockers? And then...
They totally were. They actually, before they got saved, they had quite a wild lifestyle. Probably one of those lifestyles that more wild than I think what I've been through.
Yeah.
So they've already had their moment.
You're doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Sold my soul to the devil. Sold my soul to the devil.
Keith and Mary Hudson aren't just the parents of a pop star.
Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
In a few circles, they're stars themselves. The couple started a religious charity in 2015 named Keith Hudson Ministries. They use the mask of spiritual services to get donations from their wealthy patrons. They held events at exotic locations in their charity's name to give people a supposed connection with God. Once these patrons felt satisfied with their religion, they were ripe pickings for the Hudsons. These events were the primary source of their income and were entirely funded by their victims. Both of them claimed to have spiritual powers capable of healing their followers. Mary spoke in tongues during her prophetic night ceremonies. By tongues, we mean absolute gibberish akin to drunk Sims screaming at each other. She also claimed to heal members of the crowd. Keith told people that he had the ability of prophecy, spiritual healing, miracle working. They used these tactics to con many gullible people out of a bunch of money.
After the Depression, early 30s, we had outlaws who became folk heroes, and this is about John Dillinger and his buddies. I saw the movie the other night and really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Because I like it because historically, it's the real deal, you know. And have you seen the movie?
No, I've not.
I'm sorry, you've not seen the movie?
Not just yet.
And you're too busy to see it, probably?
You know, in a way, you know, once my job is done on the film, it's really none of my business. You know?
Really, none of your business.
Yeah.
So you deliberately don't look at the finished product?
Oh, yeah, I stay as far away as I possibly can.
Is that right?
Yeah. If I can, I try to stay in as profound a state of ignorance as possible.
Well, you come to the right place. You're exactly where you need to be. That's interesting. And is it, and forgive me, is it a little insecurity?
Just, you know, I don't like, I don't like watching myself.
Yeah.
I prefer the experience. I mean, making the film is great.
Right.
The process is all fine, but then he's up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that speaks to what
Because he's up there, you know what I mean? And then he gives that look. Now, we'll never know what exactly he hinted to David Letterman, but I'm leaning towards the idea that Johnny Depp was talking about either Satan, most likely, or the Lord Jesus Christ. And I think of Satan because I'm sure some of you have heard how celebrities are afraid of looking into mirrors. That's why most of them don't have mirrors in their homes. They're afraid of staring into their eyes, and eyes are the window to their soul, so I think it's because of the demonic spirits, and probably same thing happens while filming a movie. They become a vessel, a suit for demonic entities. That's why Johnny Depp doesn't watch his own films.
I prefer the experience. I mean, making the film is great.
Right.
The process is all fine, but then he's up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I say to that? We aren't stopping this concert for shit. I'm rich, bitch!
I guess drank each other's blood might mislead people, or like people are imagining us with like goblets and we're like Game of Thrones drinking each other's blood. It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only.
Bro, I don't give a shit. This is a motherfucking... I read those texts that you said to yours, but I'll never say it, yeah. You walked in my life at 2 a.m.
Oh, shit. Gross.
It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul. Let me bleed on you. That happens? It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
What's my favorite comic series or comic book? What's my favorite comic book character?
Of all time?
You know this.
Lucifer?
100%.
Yeah.
Followed by Sam.
How you feeling? Everything okay?
Ever since we moved into this house, my mind is flooded.
We all have writer's block.
This is not just a creepy rock and roll house. It allows spiritual entities to cross into our world.
Oh my God!
Dude has got one flew over the cuckoo's nest crazy. It's this place, man.
Let's finish the track.
Can't we just wait, dude?
Play the drums.
You found a new musical note?
Hell yes, I did.
It's an L.
Any chefs in the group?
I'm pretty handy on a grill.
Yeah, you like your meat charred and dry.
He does make a killer barbecue.
What do we do?
We go save his ass.
Is the album almost done?
Yeah, it's killer. Here you go, man. Finish the song.
You did.
This is where you come up with a brilliant idea that no one else can see. Let's hear it.
I got it.
I found him. Who's that? Jesus? Can't afford it. I found him. Who's that? Jesus? Can't afford it.
I'm willing to bet my career on one guy. My name's Sonny Vaccaro. I'm with Nike.
Do you typically make it a habit of showing up at people's front doors unannounced?
I don't like to take no for an answer.
There was me, Troy. There was Mad Dog.
Nick and Paul got this film together, and they invited me to join them. I had a connection to Eddie Bunker because I met him. I worked with him on one of his novels. I made a film called Animal Factory that Steve Buscemi directed, and that was a really good experience. So when I heard Nick, Paul, I've worked with Paul, I think this is my 7th time. You know, it was like, sure.
Cora. How did Nicolas Cage think about the decision to name his son Kal-El? Kal-El is a Hebrew name, and it means voice of God. It's also from a very famous character. I think it's a beautiful name, so that's why.
And now we are seeing both teams locking arms and coming out to the field. Both number 3s. Russell Wilson and Derwin James wearing the same jersey number as Damar Hamlin. A show of solidarity.
And both flashing 6s. You can't make this stuff up.
Both number 3s, Derwin James and Russell Wilson.
Someone clipped this from Gaga's concert. Warning, it's graphic.
We also have a giant TV showing the chat. All right, switch it back to the wide cam.
I saw all your comments about my beard.
A channel called Mr. Beast. Interesting name, by the way. Nothing to it, I'm sure. One of his, I guess, teammates all of a sudden became a transgender and left his own family, which is insane. And now, while on stream, he says something straight from the Bible. Take a listen.
Oh no, their name is Chris. Okay.
Okay. Or it is to you.
Or, I mean, in a way it is to me. I am Mr. Beast. We are like a legion. We are one. We are many. We are like a legion. We are one. We are many. Oh my God, guys! You'll never guess what it is.
It almost seems as if this was unintentional, I've seen it happen in real life as well. What if him becoming transgender, you know, that whole pronouns nonsense, identifying as they, them, what if he said it under demonic influence because of multiple demons living inside him? And don't tell me that changing your gender or becoming genderless has nothing to do with spiritual realm. He might have said the truth unconsciously.
After Chris came out as transgender and said that he has divorced his wife, lots of people wanted to know what is up with his family. How is his ex-wife living now and what actually happened to their 2-year-old son Tucker? We have to start with the Chris tweet, where he talked about the divorce with Katie for the first time. For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated. We are finalizing things soon, but these things take time. We like to keep our personal lives private, which a lot of people don't understand because we share so much, but this is the only time I want to discuss it, and Chris didn't lie. That was the first and the last time he talked about his divorce. However, Chris' son Tucker got in a mad amount of dramas in the past few months. Even before Chris came out, he posted a picture of his son wearing high heels on Snapchat, and that made people angry at him. And Chris replied to those messages, saying that people can talk anything about him, but they cannot trash talk about Tucker. A week after Chris came out as trans and revealed he was doing HRT, people got mad at Chris even more since they thought he left the family and abandoned Tucker since he lives without his wife. And Chris replied, "I won't let people talk how I abandoned my child."
Is this like
I think case is closed, as in the days of Noah.
Is this like Exodia but SpongeBob?
I'm gonna show you like 2-second highlights and just tell me like which one's better, you know what I'm saying?
Popular streamer iShowSpeed was doing a live stream with Hollywood Satanist and sellout Lil Nas, and someone commented that iShowSpeed has sold his soul. Now, knowing how wicked and filthy his friend Lil Nas is, it won't be long till those words come true.
Alright, hold on, wait, I don't want to be this.
He sold his soul. He sold his soul.
Bro, what? Bro, chat, why do you like chat? Stop! God damn! I'm still fucking speed. What the fuck is wrong with you guys, bro? I hate when they do shit like that, man. Like Lil Nas, bro.
Later on, he was confronted by Canadian street preacher David Lynn. And before saying anything about David, because there's a lot to be said, let's watch how iShowSpeed reacted to his questions.
Why there are still monkeys today if we evolved from monkeys? Why are there still monkeys today? No, you're not.
You just called me a monkey.
Charles Darwin says you're a monkey.
What? I'm a monkey?
Charles Darwin calls you a monkey. Charles Darwin says that.
Are you serious right now?
That's Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin says that.
I want to ask you something, man.
Yeah, ask me something.
Because I watch your videos, man. I actually made a review of one of your videos.
All right, what is it?
So I forgot what it's called, but you made a video. I want to know, man. Are you gay?
Yo, we call you gay, bro. Only for Ronaldo.
All right. Come. Listen, hold that for a second. Hold on. I want to ask you something, man. Listen, man. I know your father is a Christian.
Okay.
His father is definitely not a Christian. He goes to these wicked online dates with his son, meeting young perverted women. And keep in mind that most of his fans are little kids.
I know your father is a Christian.
Okay.
Are you a Christian?
Am I a Christian? Okay. See, that's a very, great question, you know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this, okay?
No. Answer the question first. It's a great question because a Christian is someone that's repented of their sins, that doesn't support sexual immorality, that's not walking for fame, but living for Jesus, someone who's denied themselves, pick up their cross daily and follow me. I'm not against you trying to make money or making good music, but if you're a Christian, you need to repent of your sins. Otherwise, just like any person here, not just you, you'll find yourself in hell.
All right, okay, hold on, wait.
So are you a Christian?
Hey, let me talk, all right?
Are you a Christian?
Okay, first of all, I came here to see Ronaldo. I'm in Manchester right now. You're asking me questions about God, okay? I love God, but...
Just if you're
Hey,
I want to know.
Hey, okay. Let me tell you this. Stop talking to me, sir. Have a nice day.
I thought so. The man is gay for Ronaldo. His father's a Christian, and he's afraid to acknowledge the question because he knows what I'm saying is right. He's going against his conscience. He loves his fame and he loves the world more than he loves God.
Now, there is nothing wrong with what David Lynn said there, but I have a problem when David is tied with Roman Catholicism, with Jesuits, Jesuitry, even though he deliberately tries to deny it. He even made a video defending this statement. I will never forget how he never opened his mouth against the lockdowns and the jab, and his quote-unquote deliverance from demons videos, in other words, exorcism, reminds me more of putting demons into people and not delivering them from anything, but that's another video. I'll be touching on this topic just briefly.
Come out! Silence you right now in the name of Jesus.
Come out!
Come out!
Come out! Get out now!
Fire of the Holy Spirit! Come out! Bind you in Jesus' name. You come out!
Fire the Holy Spirit! Fire the Holy Spirit!
Come out! Come out!
Fire the Holy
Come out!
Spirit!
Get out! Come out! Get out! Jesus. Come out!
You're not welcome here.
Come out! Come on, saints of God, help me pray.
In the name of Jesus. Release Vlad!
Wicked spirits.
Release Vlad! Vlad, Jesus! Release him in the name of Jesus! Release in the name of Jesus!
And what was David Lynn doing on Alex Jones' show? Does he really want us to believe he did not know who Alex Jones was? Someone like David who can talk almost about anything, any topic, any conspiracy, any religion, didn't know? Or is he playing stupid on purpose to deceive his gullible followers?
And now you'll be arrested for just being a Christian, and now you'll be an underground secret church like China. That's where I think this is going.
I 100% agree, and it's a shame. I shouldn't have to be ashamed to read the Bible. As far as I know, the Bible's not a banned book in Canada.
Now, there can only be few explanations to this. First one, either he was under mind control, either he's stupid, or he's lying.
Recently, a lot of people assume that David Lynn is aligning himself with Alex Jones just because he went on his show.
I haven't officially watched an InfoWars Alex Jones show. I had secular media interview me, and in Canada they're liberal, they don't like me. If you want to interview me and you want to know about Jesus, I don't mind you video recording me. Why? Because I'm on video every day.
Here's another example where people might think that he's a Catholic or a priest just by looking at this picture.
This guy on the internet decides to look at my pictures and clip my pictures and say, you see, he's a, what do they say, a New World Order Illuminati, he's Illuminati Jesuit Vatican New World Order agent. There is a standard uniform that people have for clergy.
And where's clergy in the King James Bible? Because clergy is a Roman Catholic practice.
A lot of denominations where it has nothing to do with Roman Catholic. I'm not Roman Catholic. And at times I wear it just because at a funeral, because people know it's a clergy uniform. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it's up to you. It's not a big deal to me, but I don't wear it that often. I'm wearing a shirt and tie.
If it's not in the Bible, then why do it? Why do this practice? Catholic traditions above the Word of God? And where in the Bible are church buildings?
Some people are totally against it, some people are, and it's debate. I don't really get into that.
Yes, I do. What? Yeah, I'd love to be a fisherman.
What, like a fly fisherman?
I'd be any type of fisherman. I think I would like to, one day I'd just like to end my days fishing. Like
we can sort that out.
Do
you fly fishing? Or like...
I do it on the sea and I do it in lakes. I've never done it alone.
So cool.
Someone's always taught me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So his song is called I'm Not Here to Make Friends. And I have a follow-up question. What are you here to make, Sam Smith? I'm actually interested in that. I'm interested because I used to really enjoy his music. He's incredibly talented. Of that, there can be no question. But this morning, I had to delete all of his music from my phone because something has happened. It's not about whether or not he can sing and play the piano, whether he can perform in front of live audiences, but I just cannot support what can only be described as a demon that he has been possessed by. Why is the question I have when somebody like Cardi B releases WAP? Why are they doing this? People are already listening to your music. People already like you. What are you gaining by going down this dark path? And so I went home and I was having this discussion with my husband. He reminded me of a sermon that we had listened to over the weekend. And the sermon is from the Venerable Fulton Sheen. And I'm just going to play a clip of it for you. Take a listen.
What is the diabolic from the purely psychiatric point of view? Dr. Rollo May analyzes the word diabolic. It comes from the Greek words dia and balein. Dia balein is to...
Do you see how they do it? And that's what people don't get. She is criticizing Sam Smith, which is good, of course, but then she plays a sermon from the Vatican Cardinal. This is a false light we're witnessing. The general public does not think that Satan can come as an angel of light, a savior figure to deceive the masses. This wokeness garbage is being promoted on purpose, to ignite the right, make angry those who have at least some sense of morality left in them. And now all of a sudden, the Roman Catholic Church doesn't seem so bad anymore.
Know what he is. He's everything.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Almost 30 million children have been trafficked in the last 30 years, and some as young as 4 years old. 6 years ago, director Alejandro Monteverde saw a news report on the growing child trafficking industry that changed his life.
Right there, you know, the subject really took and shook my soul. And I knew I had to do something about it. And all I know how to do is tell stories.
Obviously, you understand the content of this. Once the world sees this film, and once they see the ships that they transport the children in and all of this stuff, well, there's no other film like this. Our industry can't make this film right now because of a lot of people that are involved in it all over the world that are in this. And many of these people are very famous.
The film was originally set to be released in 2020, but due to the COVID pandemic, it was delayed until 2023. And Alejandro believes it was a blessing.
But due to the COVID pandemic, it was delayed until 2023.
This is not also an accident. It's not an accident, the COVID-19. It's a confirmation of our mission to collaborate, to contribute in the change of this world. We need really to get together so we can go in another way. Something has to change. So don't forget this crisis. Not just, okay, that was a bad night, a nightmare. No, and we are awake again, and we are again in our life as before. No, we have to take the lesson that if we don't change after this, the next one will be worse.
So now looking into retrospective, the timing is perfect. Because if we would have come out with this movie anytime earlier, I don't think the audiences were ready for something like this because they were not familiar with the subject matter. And I feel right now, people are very familiar, not because of the movie, just because it's a problem that is going like this. So now it's everywhere.
Actor Jim Caviezel, most known for portraying Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, stars as the movie's lead. The movie, which premieres on July 4th, brings one man's story and the issue of child trafficking to light.
So let me get this straight. A Roman Catholic, Mel Gibson, who bows down to the Vatican, and I mean he openly said that he would like for Roman Catholicism to perform Mass in Latin, and Catholicism, being the largest pedophile priest cult on earth, wants to expose child trafficking? Am I missing something here? And why is this movie even promoted on Rome Reports, the official Vatican YouTube channel? I mean, people, they're playing on your heartstrings. Why would you trust a Hollywood actor? Don't trust any of them, because if they were genuine about it, they wouldn't be making movies in Hollywood, in something that Satan himself created. There's an agenda going on.
Hi, there in Chicago, Mel here. The voice crying out from the wilderness of Malibu to lend that voice for your support and encouragement at your rally today. The Coalition for Canceled Priests. I mean, it's not hard to believe that there is now such a thing, as personally I know many priests who have been canceled, but not for the reasons you'd think. I mean, it's not like they did a hit-and-run drive and left the scene of the crime, or embezzled church funds, stole the altar wine, or committed some other heinous crime. No, not at all. And who's persecuting them? Well, their own bishops. How's that? Yep. Who are they? Well, they're a pack of men who generally passively sit by and tolerate any kind of nonsense, but if one of their priests utters something that resembles orthodoxy, well, then they spring into action, they reprimand him, and they bully him and do their best to cancel him. And they succeed. They drum him out of the service, you know. Off he goes. I'm really sorry about that. That's a grave injustice, and it's kind of white martyrdom. And it's nothing new. It really isn't. It's nothing new. And it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a very deep sickness that afflicts the church. It did not happen overnight. If anyone's familiar with the missives of Archbishop Vigano, he says that the seeds of erosion of the church were sown with the reforms of Vatican II, and I agree with him. He suggests even that we scrap the whole thing and go back and do it the way it was before.
How interesting. This is exactly what the Antichrist is supposed to do, according to the book of Daniel and Revelation. He shall think to change times and laws, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. I mean, really, if Satan wants to be like the Most High, he shall be a replica, a perfect copy of Jesus Christ, through the body of the Antichrist.
But I know the difference between a shepherd and a hireling. And I think that the vast majority of these bishops are just a bunch of hirelings, you know. And my question is, like, who's hiring them? I don't think it's Jesus. Is it Francis? Who's hiring Francis? Is it Pachamama? I mean, I think you need to look at the whole institution. And, I'll quote Archbishop Vigano again in saying that he believes that there was a parallel counterfeit church set up to eclipse the real one. He's suggesting usurpation or an inside job. It seems that way. Anyway, of course we know the gates of hell will not prevail against it. The victory is God's, not ours. And it will flourish if we keep it in our hearts. It can flourish in our hearts and keep the faith. And that's what's going to happen. That's what I encourage you to do. Again, I'm sorry for your pain, the injustice. I'll definitely throw something in the hat to add my support. And God keep you and God bless you.
I came from Hawaii and I had all this blonde hair and a tan, and I met an agent because I really wanted to be an actor and get an agent, and he said, "Wow, bro, you must surf." And I said, yeah. And that was the first of many lies that I told to get to where I am today. Thank you. I would not be here with the ease and grace I have in my heart without my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This being the generation award, I'm gonna cut to the chase and I'm gonna speak to you, the next generation, okay? I accept the responsibility as your elder, so listen up. This is what I call 9 rules from Chris Pratt, Generation Award winner. Number 6, God is real. God loves you. God wants the best for you. Believe that. I do. Number 8, learn to pray. It's easy and it's so good for your soul. And finally, number 9, nobody is perfect. People are going to tell you you're perfect just the way you are. You're not. You are imperfect. You always will be, but there is a powerful force that designed you that way. And if you're willing to accept that, you will have grace. And grace is a gift. And like the freedom that we enjoy in this country, that grace was paid for with somebody else's blood. Do not forget it. Don't take it for granted. God bless you. Please get home safely. Thank you.
The way we love our children, and the more we love our children, the more we will understand the capacity for our Father in heaven to love us. Each and every one of us, a precious creation, and He just marvels in the ways in which we could try to please Him. That should give us all a great deal of comfort. I know it does for me.
You know, I want to just jump in here real quick because he was building up to that point where he was going to introduce God the Father. And I could tell, I could just read his language, his body language, like he knew he was going like off script. He knew what he was doing was going to ruffle the feathers of the Hollywood elite right there in California. God bless him for doing that. But, I mean, I saw it. I was watching it, and you were watching it too. And he's building up, and he hits it right there. But there's the slight hesitation. He knew he was going off script. Wow, let's continue watching.
That was absolutely disgusting. And last but not least, just to remind you what the US military was actually doing in Afghanistan. Please help push the video through the algorithm by liking and sharing the video so more people would see it. And thanks for watching.
Geraldo, tell us what you've seen during your days there in Afghanistan.
Hi, Allison, Dave, and Clayton. Yes, in some ways, the Marines' brilliantly executed invasion of Marja, this town in the middle of Helmand province, was the easy part. The hard part now is governing this province, a province, as you suggest, that has become addicted to opium in many, many ways. That is the principal crop that is being grown here. The Taliban lend the farmers the money. They are indebted to the Taliban. They have to grow the opium. Now the Marines, in their success, are in a sense a victim of their success, because now the population is, they have these opium fields, and we are tolerating it. We are tolerating the cultivation of the opium because we know that if we were to destroy it now, the population would turn against the Marines and it would be a real security risk. Let me introduce Lieutenant Colonel Brian Christmas. He's the commanding officer of the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines. Really a wonderful group of Marines here. I know that you care deeply about this contradiction, the fact that here you have one of the best fighting forces in the world ever mounted, and in a sense you're watching as this opium is being grown. I know it grinds at your gut. How do you deal with it? What are you doing about it?
Well, frankly, this is a part of their culture. So while it might grind in my gut, it's what they do. We provide them security, we're providing them resources, and we're providing them alternatives. And the alternatives are different crops to grow. They're getting the seed and the fertilizer to do it. They can rotate any of their crops that they want. If they want to get rid of their wheat and grow cotton for the winter, they can do that, and we're going to help them do it. So the same thing goes for the poppy.
So you think that, we were at the market, and everywhere we go, they're selling these little devices. Take a shot at this, Greg. They're hand-carved. These are the little devices they use to scrape the opium sap off the plant. And I watched as you bought every one that was for sale because you care so deeply. Why did you do that?
I want them off the street. The idea is that we don't want to harvest the poppy. We want to, hopefully turn the poppy over and put some wheat, cotton, watermelon, cucumber. It's all great stuff they grow out here. We just want to see that that come to fruition and the poppy just to go away.
How do you separate the good guys from the bad guys? You know, I watched that checkpoint you had. The cars are out on the road. That's the good news. The bazaars are coming back to life. That's the good news. But I don't know, how in the world you tell a Taliban from a guy who just lives in the neighborhood?
You don't. They do. And I'll tell you, the majority of those people are good people. The ones that are bad are really bad, and they've convinced some of the good people to be bad. Follow that. Bottom line is, most of them are on the fence, and it's just a matter of showing them the good, showing them the fact that the Giro government is here. It's going to make a difference, that we're here to help them with that security and those resources, but they're the ones that are going to make the difference. So there are a few bad people, the majority of them are good.
But I really, I fault the politicians for putting the Marines in this position, you know, where we can't eradicate these crops for security reasons, and these guys, after winning the war, in a sense, now have to fight this fight. But next year, hopefully it'll be better. I just want to quickly pan around, see some of the 3rd Battalion 6th Marines. There's the Master Gunnery Sergeant, there's the top ranked enlisted man. Next to him is Captain Black. He had a visit, quick, who visited you a couple of weeks ago?
Prince Charles came down a couple of weeks ago.
And the Brits like him? I mean, you guys like him?
Yeah, it's good that he came out, saw the guys, went out to the pubs and engaged with the guys. That was good. Good to get around.
So we had a visit from Prince Charles, and the Marines are doing the good thing. Dave, Clayton, and Allison, back to you guys in New York.
Thank you so much, Geraldo.
Thanks so much. I mean, he just explains it better than we can ever read in any paper, what a dilemma it is with the opium trade.
And they make so much money off the opium per yard there. They make so much money compared to those other crops. So it sounds great in theory, and Geraldo says this predicament that these politicians have put these guys in to have to tell them, hey, make a lot less money than the heroin you could be making with the poppy.
And they can't destroy it.
Right.
What a difficult position.